Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to my video. Today I'm bringing you a new series called Villains Stories. And in this series, I'm going to tell you short stories from my real life and also fictional stories. With this first story that I'm bringing here today, I'm going to actually talk about a real life story that happened to me. And that story is about me running out of gas. Yeah, I know. That's pretty embarrassing. But as embarrassing as that was, it left me with a good story to tell you guys here on YouTube. So let's get into it. So I was taking my brother to his boxing lessons, and when we got to his boxing center, I dropped him off, and we left the parking lot. And we then had plans to go get groceries for ourselves, ourselves being myself and my wife. And while we're turning out of the boxing center and going onto the main road, we hit an intersection. And when we hit this intersection, it's a red light. So we're waiting for it to turn green, as you would normally. But then my car randomly shuts off. And I'm like, well, what the hell's going on here? I try to start it back up. The car starts back up. But then the engine starts to stutter. Like it just starts shaking, right? It makes like this loud rattling noise. And then the car stops. And I do this several times, repeating it, and the car's not moving. Now, people are starting to get pissed off behind me. They're beating their horns, they're yelling, so on and so forth. So I put on my emergency lights. Obviously, I can't move. I didn't know I was out of gas at this time because here's the big kicker. My gas meter was broken, and I was not aware of it at that time. So yeah, it said I had about a half tank of gas. And, of course, with my gas gauge saying that I had a half tank of gas, I was really confused. So immediately I thought there was something wrong with my car's alternator and my battery wasn't getting properly charged. So, well, I'm thinking this might be the issue. Someone actually walks up and knocks on my car window and they said, "Hey, would you like a hand?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And then I said, "Actually, you know what? There's a garage just to the right of us. Literally, we just had to take a right turn through the intersection." So this guy and everyone that was in his car got out. I put my car into neutral, and they pushed it. And they pushed it just enough so I could get down over the hill and make a right turn. And using my brakes, I glided myself into the parking lot of a mechanic. So it was like sort of good timing, right? But once I pulled into the parking lot, and the guys came down and we had a quick chat. They didn't really have any knowledge of cars, so they couldn't really help me. I went over to the mechanic, uh, the business store, right? And I looked at their sign. It said closed. They had closed at 5 p.m. The time that it was when I pulled into their parking lot was 5:15. And surprisingly, everybody was gone by 5:15. I was like, wow, staff left here fast. So I couldn't find anyone to talk to give my car a little diagnosis. So I end up giving my grandfather a call. I tell him, "Hey, think there's something wrong with my car's alternator or something. Would you be able to come out, see if we can give my battery a boost, see if we can fix it some way? I'm not a car guy, not a grease monkey. I don't know shit about cars." My grandfather, on the other hand, he was a bit of a grease monkey back in the day, so he knew how to fix cars. He used to own a garage. So he comes out, he comes and looks at the car, and first we try boosting it. Obviously, that's not the problem, because it's not my car's battery that's having an issue, so I just tried turning on the battery by itself. It wasn't shutting off. It was whenever I tried to start the car that it was having an issue. So my grandfather says, "Listen, it almost sounds like gas isn't getting to your engine." And I'm like, "You know what? You might be right." And so, with that said, I then called my mother and I said, "Hey, did you notice something potentially wrong with the car's, I guess, uh, gas injection system, because it was not getting to it wasn't getting to the engine, right?" And I know if any mechanics are watching this video, you guys are gonna rip me apart, and that's fine. I don't know shit about cars, guys. Feel free to fill in the blanks where I'm making mistakes. All right, but point being, I call my mother and I get her to come out with my other grandfather. He comes out. and we diagnosed that the car had actually ran out of gas. And that's when we realized that the gas gauge was broken, because we went up. There's a gas station actually not too far away from us. I didn't have a jerry can in the vehicle, so I couldn't test this myself. I needed someone to bring one out. So they brought out the jerry can, filled it up with gas, put it in the car, and bada bing, bada boom. Car's working, no problems. All right, so this is a story of me running out of gas. It was a very embarrassing experience. I hope none of you guys have to experience this yourselves, but some of you probably will, either through your own fault or through a mechanical error in your car. But anyways, I hope you all have a great day, and I'll see you in the next villainous story.